My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm doing updates like a diary. I've done Diary 1. I've done videos in the past telling about my kidnapping and the things that have been done to me and the things that this government's doing, not just to me, to its own people. Um, I have to make this short. This is Diary 2. I was trying to tell about, and I'm going to show these pictures so you get the gist of it, background. Okay, that was Hustler magazine. Larry Flint. It was an endorsement he did in '84. I wrote about mind control murders, about programming back in '77, '78. How you can program someone to modify their behavior. You can make them do anything. This joke about that you can't make people do what they don't want to do is a total myth and lie. And that can be proven over and over. But anyway, Hustler endorsed me in that campaign, and I was flown out there. But the persons that shot him and killed his attorney were programmed. I was doing the book in Marietta, '77, '78, when he was shot. I've shown you a picture of Elizabeth, who is illegal. I hate to say it, but she's my cousin. I showed you her father, George VI, with Roosevelt in 1939, the year I was born. I was kidnapped in '41. Joseph Kennedy was ambassador to England back then, so they kicked him out in '46. Now then, they helped. This is my father, the real King Edward VIII. They used a double to marry Wallace Simpson. And a 99-year seal put on it. His own brother helped the Americans and the Rockefellers, Rothschilds. Freemasons, you can call them triad or whatever you want. They're the New World Order that's in place now, and Elizabeth's a part of it. People that did this to me. So I thought it was because of the book I'd written, and I found out in '83 that I'd been kidnapped, and my real name is Victoria II, and I'm the legal heir. I was put at Moulton, given the name of Peggy Dempsey, married at Childers, I did, and both twins were illegitimate, and they'd been murdered by their mother. It was a horrible way to grow up. But anyway, I'm going to jump up to, I'm going to jump to April the 1st of '80. I had antifreeze put in me and should have gone into a coma and died, and it was a fiasco what went on there. I was carried across the state line, and I began past the background check, and as required for working for the district attorney, Fred Simpson. And you get into patterns. The name Simpson would apply to Wallace Warfield Simpson, who was supposed to marry my father and abdicated, which was a lie. I lived at Warren House, and Warren is like the Warren Commission that covered up the Kennedy assassination. Joe Kennedy was the one that helped kidnap me and bring me over here to this country and hold me as hostage and torture me. So I'm living there, and Carl Smith, I don't know if that's his name, but they're using Carl, the name of the twin. He had lived by me, he said, at Normandy Apartments in Marietta, and he was FBI. And he said that my tracks were laid down, my itinerary, 5 years ahead of time. So that being said, I'm going to skip the other that I've tried to put on video to when I came here in '86. And I'm allergic to chemicals, which has nothing to do with mental illness. It has to do with something they did to me when they kidnapped me, and the fact that I get near certain industrial chemicals or even some strong household, and I react immediately like a light switch going on. My immune system reacts in different ways. It attacks my immune system actually attacks me. So over the years, it's been deliberately done, and I'm going to make this quick if I can because I can't upload it; gets too lengthy. Um, so they've used the chemicals on me, and it's pre-planned where I go. They get stuff on people like Affordable Corporate Suites. It's owned by a Jewish firm, but I think he was glad to do it to me, so he said. So I've lived in different corporate suites here in Affordable Corporate Suites. He's got about 4 or 5 of them here. This is all illegal, orchestrated assault and battery with intent. It's torturing me, and they talk about assault. So I've used those as an example, but I wanted to zero in on, they've come up when I resorted to living in national forest and freezing and starving to have a place. And the volunteers on the trail would actually be told to come and soak my tent when I was lucky enough to have money to buy one, and my bedding. And you can't wash this out of a tin. Actually, fuel has been poured on me at night where I had to sit outside till daylight. I mean, they just really worked me over. It's unbelievable, really, that people will do as the law says to get out of paying for a crime because the law has something on them. But most of these people were happy to do it. You don't tell them that they're not the good guy. This is America. They will, it's like a blind going down, and they'll get you. Really, it's unreal. But anyway, I wanted to go to the HUD that they've used. This is Section 8. I'm begging for Section 8 or anything to live in. So the first one was in '06, and that was Edinburgh Square retirement. I managed to stay there for 6 months. I was so glad to get into something. They gassed me. It was a fiasco what happened there. And the people that managed it knew it. Palmer, the maintenance guy, his wife was Section 8 that allowed it to happen. She worked for him. They had a home out there in Troutnell where I had camped for so long and lived. So they watched me walk right down the street in front of them in the icy cold winter with a backpack on or in the hot sun starving and begging. So anyway, I left there. The next one, and I'm skipping to the HUD, which is federal funded, was Richfield, a nice place. I stayed there 3 months. It almost killed me, and I really hated to leave there. Now I'm going, so they get the participation of the management in the whole thing. The law enforcement's doing it, so people think it's okay. They're not going to have to pay for it. So the next one is Joseph's Dream, owned by Reverend Moore out of Black Ministry out of Washington, North Carolina. He owns about 23 or so of these over Carolina and Virginia. The same thing happened there. They've got me in Bedford, next door, Virginia. The unit retirement village is up close to the monument, the Bedford War Memorial. They've got the United States flag flying next to the Brit, like the Brits are not hostages. I'm a hostage myself. So it's a joke what the Americans have done. They've got me there as hostage, and the Brits are hostages. And it's just a joke, Tom Hanks. So I have to leave there after 7 months. I come back to Roanoke, and I reapply over at a new unit Moore has in Christiansburg. Virginia Tech is right next door there in Blacksburg. It's new. There's only 4 people that have moved in the units. And Miss Scott, that managed it, said this is last year, that she was told she had to do a background check everywhere I had lived and worked in the past, which is weird. I haven't broken the law. It's been consistently broke against me. So it comes back, that I don't meet their criteria. Now these are the people that own it that just did it to me in Bedford. I don't meet their criteria, and in other words, I'm undesirable, and it wouldn't do me any good to pursue it, which is again is against the law. I can't get who said what or anything. So that being said, I'm going to skip to. I've been where I'm at now since January 12th. Same thing has gone on here. I'm just about dead. It's gone on in plain view with the management and staff knowing what's being done in maintenance. By the way, somebody told me that owned a maintenance company. They handed me a card when I was out in California, and it was a medical maintenance. She says, what they've done to you is they've made invisible, like you can't see the feds or law enforcement getting things on the maintenance or the personnel or you name it, and getting them to do things, which they don't have to do. They have an option. But it's kind of invisible, and if you can't get an attorney, and I can't, I'm out of luck. It's killing me. My liver, my kidneys, taking it all out. So I today went back to Edinburgh, which was the first HUD that I went to in '06. Same people are working there, had a cushiony job. I had filled out the papers, they'd mailed them to me to reapply, which I'm in reapplying to people who should be locked up, just to have a place for me to live. Now, who's going to ensure it doesn't happen there again? And I can tell you it would. Unless this is stopped or I die, they're going to, even when we're doing the videos and showing papers and everything, and people are knowing it, it'll be covered up. Nobody will pay for it. Anyway, I had an appointment. I went in today, and where they had got me in within a couple of days back in '06 when the homeless assistance and the federal agency was responsible for putting me in there, and I was gassed. Now then, it's this much time later, and they're full up for 5 years. Well, I'm 75 years old. That's a joke. I fill out the papers, mail them. When I get there today, I faxed them. Well, they had the fax. They couldn't deny that, but they said they hadn't received the paperwork. So I had to fill it out again. And by the way, I had to give them the birth certificate of Peggy Dempsey, the twin, that I have to use. Peggy Dempsey, the twin, the real one, was fed to the pigs. Whether she was dead when she went in, I don't know. Carl was murdered, but he was murdered not too long after he was born in '38, and they changed this on the birth certificates. Actually, it's such a joke. They just marked through the date they gave me, and I grew up with. They marked through the twins to coincide with the birth date they gave me. So, State of Alabama's just sent a letter and said the doctor must have made a mistake in the dates. This is used for your passport and legal work, but this is the name I have to use, the birth certificate. So I handed it to her, and she Xeroxed it for the files all over again. And then she makes me sign a declaration of that I can't even say it, it's so appalling, that I pledge allegiance to this country that kidnapped me and has committed every crime in the book, and I'm begging to be held accountable. They're held accountable for it. You see my dilemma. So to have a place to live, they had me give them really a false identity. I'm not Peggy Dempsey. I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, Victoria II. My allegiance is to my country, to the British. I'd like to see this country, and only God can do it, and I'll say that again, hauled into Judgment Day, and see if the people of this country, the media, the arrogance of them all, if they can do anything and get away with it, if they think it's so funny then. But then, hey, I'm going to have to quit the tape and upload it. And that's what happened today, and I'm sitting here sick as heck. That's it.